Tonight we start with a little bit of poetry. First off, please welcome on stage a very celebrated author who in 2006 won the Forward Poetry Prize for her book, Countries of the Body. She is also the recipient of an Eric Gregory Award in 2001 and the winner of the All India Poetry Competition in 2005. Her first novel, The Pleasure Seekers, in 2010 was shortlisted for the Hindu Fiction Prize and longlisted for the Orange Prize. Please welcome on stage Miss Tishani Doshi.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? I'm going to be reading from a new collection called Everything Begins Elsewhere. It happens that I'm tired of being a woman. It happens that I cannot walk past country clubs or consulates without considering the hags, skinny as guitar strings, foraging in the rubbish. All along the streets, there are forlorn mansions where girls have grown up and vanished. I am vanishing too. I want nothing to do with gates, nor balconies, nor flat-screen TVs. It happens that I am tired of my veins and my hips and my navel and my sorrows. It happens that I am tired of being a woman. Just the same, it would be joyous to flash my legs at the drivers playing chess, to lead the old man at house 38 onto the tarred road, to lie down under the laburnum dripping gold. I do not want to keep growing in the skin, to swell to the size of a mausoleum. I do not want to be matriarch or mother. Understand, I am only in love with these undrunk breasts, and when Monday arrives with the usual battalion of pear-shaped wives doing battle in grocery store aisles, I will be stalking the fields of concrete and ash, the days leading me elsewhere to houses without ceiling fans, where daughters disappear and the walls weep. I will weep too for high-heeled beauty queens, for sewing machines and chickens in cages. I will walk with my harness and exiled feet through cravings and renunciations, through heaps of midnight wreckages, where magistrates of crows gather to sing the same unbroken song of unforgiving loss. Thank you. That was after a poet, after Pablo Neruda, who wrote a similar poem which began, "I'm tired of being a man," and I thought I would write my own version of that, being a woman. The next poem is a kind of a anti-love poem. It's called Love Poem. Ultimately, we will lose each other to something. I would hope for grand circumstance, death or disaster, but it might not be that way at all. It might be that you walk out one morning after making love to buy cigarettes and never return, or I fall in love with another man. It might be a slow drift into indifference. Either way, we'll have to learn to bear the weight of the eventuality that we will lose each other to something. So why not begin now? While your head rests like a perfect moon in my lap and the dogs on the beach are howling, why not reach for the seam in this South Indian night and tear it just a little so the falling can begin? Because later, when we cross each other on the streets and are forced to look away, when we've thrown the disregarded pieces of our togetherness into bedroom drawers and the smell of our bodies is disappearing like the sweet decay of lilies, what will we call it when it's no longer love? This poem is called Michael Mangle's Dream. After the tsunami, I read a story about a man called Michael Mangle, who was the sole survivor of an island called Pilopanja in the Andaman and Nicobar. And it was an extraordinary story. He survived. He was the only person on the island to survive. And he was rescued by the Indian Navy a whole month after the tsunami. And he wrote of how he survived on coconut water and what he thought of. He thought about God and he thought about spirits. But most of all, he thought about the woman who lived next door to him, whom he never told he loved. So this is Michael Mangle's dream. The nights grow long in Pilopanja, thinks Michael Mangle, lying insect-style on his back where his house once used to be. The stars seem closer too, bare-boned, full of promises in this month-old lacerated sky abandoned by the gods. He could lie like this, waiting for the winds to change, for a gentle spirit to turn him over, or he could dream of pigs in pandanus from Christmas lunch, or the woman from next door whom he never told he loved to reappear from the kingdom of the sea and save him. At daybreak, he will scour the beach, sift through broken bamboo stilts and ravaged roofs, a million orphaned carcasses. He will lean against the ocean floor and imagine the woman from next door is offering up her watery chest so he can listen for the sounds of all the friends he's feasted with, built precarious houses with. And later, when they finally speak of love, she can drag him with her spirit hands to that underworld of longing and deliverance where the seasons of the rains begin, where children saved inside their fathers' thighs with gleaming backs and startled eyes learn to walk the sands again. I'm gonna end with a poem called The Art of Losing. A lot of the poems in this book are to do with loss, but also about reclamation. And I think one of the things I feel, especially with my generation, with all the troubles of the modern age upon us, is that we are struggling to express our sadnesses and our loss and our joys, and that we are taught to numb that. And so this is a poem to try to think about what it means to lose something and what it means to gain something. The Art of Losing. All our lives, we are taught to let go, as if loss were inevitable and things replaceable. It starts with the death of the childhood pet, the dog who refuses to eat for days, the bird or fish found sideways dead. And you think the hole in the universe caused by the emission of your grief is so deep it will never be rectified. But it's only the start of an endless litany of betrayals. The cruelty of school, your first bastard boyfriend, the neighbor's son going slowly mad. You catch hold of losing and suddenly it's everywhere. The beggars in the street, the ravage of a distant war in your sleep. And when grandfather hobbles up to the commode to relieve himself like a girl without bothering to shut the door, you begin to realize what it means to exist in the world without. People around you grow old and die, and it's explained as a kind of going away to God or rot, or to return as an ant, depending on the spiritual way you were raised. And once again, you're expected to be calm about the fact that you'll never see the dead again, never hear them enter a room or leave it, never have them touch the soft parting of your hair. Let it be, your parents advise. It's nothing. Wait till your favorite aunt keels over in a shopping mall, or the only boy you loved drives off a cliff to survive, but never to walk again. That'll really do you in, make you want to slit your wrists in a metaphorical way, of course, because you're strong and know that life is about surviving these things. And almost all of it might be bearable if it would just end at this. But one day, your parents will sneak into the garden to stand under the stars and fade like the lawn into a mossy kind of gray, and you must let them. Not just that, you must let them pass into that wilderness and understand that soon you'll be called aside to put away your paper wings and fall into that same oblivion with nothing, as if it were nothing. Thank you very much.